What's up, beautiful people? Thank you for joining your boy on another episode of Buy That Toy. As you can see, this issue is called ThunderCats, Tariffs, and Toys. And I wanted to get on here and just go through a couple of things that have really been prevalent and on my mind and just talk about some of the things that I'm really feeling. As you guys can see, I'm coming to you from a brand new location. This is my other office, one of my other offices from a working standpoint. As you can see, I've got my wrong shoulder, my Funkos right over here, TV where I watch a little YouTube and things like that, and a couple other whatnots in the office. But anyway, yeah, man, new location. Just want to get this stuff out while it's on my mind. So, yeah, before we get started, as we're getting started, I'll say this. I've been watching all the toy fairs and all the toy shows and seeing the releases of things that are coming out this year. And I'm pretty excited for maybe 3 lines. Like, I'm definitely in on these 3. Naturally, I'll buy other stuff, but there are 3 things that I'm really excited about. The first one being the mask stuff that's coming out from Loyal Subjects. I did a video on it. I hope you guys are pumped forward. Mask was one of my favorite toy lines as a kid. I didn't have all of them, but I had a couple of them. And I'm excited that they're re-releasing this stuff. So that one I'm all in for. I'm hoping we still get that information, still get those toys, still get the new articulation and all that stuff. I'm pretty excited for that. The second thing that I'm all in on is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm definitely going to be picking up a lot of the Universal Monster TMNT figures that are coming out. 3 that I'm very excited about is that Vampire Shredder, the 2-headed, I believe it was Donatello and Michelangelo, looks beautiful, and also that old school Mars Attack style Crane that they're releasing. Beautiful looking figures. But in addition to that, some of the retro carded stuff that's coming out, like Scale Tail and the Foot Cruiser, and just different things that we'll be getting from TMNT this year. While I won't be buying everything, I'll definitely be buying some things. So I'm pretty excited about all of that stuff. But beyond that, there's one more thing that I'm pumped to see, and that's this new MOTU ThunderCats crossover. Listen, the pictures are starting to hit, and we're getting some beautiful imagery from the ThunderCats MOTU line, and this stuff has me pumped. For me, right now, MOTU is hitting it out of the park. I was never the biggest Masters of the Universe fan. I didn't dislike the toys. Masters of the Universe just started a little bit before I was born. I was born in 83, and I was just, around 88, 89, coming to the age where I was able to recall and remember stuff and play with toys. And for me, my big toy line as a kid was Turtles. Now, I had a few Masters figures, and I definitely watched He-Man, but they don't have the same nostalgic hold on me as like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles does, which I love Turtles, by the way. I've said that multiple times. But as an adult collector, going back and looking at Masters of the Universe, it's just nailing it for me. The artwork is beautiful on the packaging, the mini comic that you could get, the cross sale, and then the actual figures. I like the Revelations figs, those look amazing. I like the Masterverse figures, I'm loving those. The cartoon figs, I've got a couple of those. The retro carded figs and the crossover lines for me are absolutely killing it. Now this ThunderCats MOTU crossover, man, these figures look amazing. The first wave that we're gonna get, my favorite figure by far is the Skeletor Mom Rock crossover. And this is one I might actually get 2 of because I want it on display with both heads. You get a Skeletor head and you get a Mom Ra head, and both of them look sweet on the figure. So I'm definitely excited for that. I love the Panthro figure. He was one of my favorites growing up. I used to love Panthro. I always thought Panthro was black. I don't know if he was or not. I don't know why you would think a blue cat had a race, but I don't know. Anyway, I digress. I loved Panthro growing up. So it's one of my favorite figures, or one of my favorite characters in ThunderCats. I never had his toy. Finally got it as an adult. Love that. But I love the way that this action figure looks. And then we got Tigra. He looks amazing to me. Super cool looking figure. Lino is just kind of Lino. I don't dislike the figure. I will definitely get it and have it on the shelf. But I think the guy that's really getting all the love is the Crinjar. Seeing him kind of posed or battle cat kind of posed as an actual like ThunderCat style figure, action figure, versus him being the cat that He-Man rode on. Man, this is a dope iteration of the action figure. So this is something for me, a line that I'm moving in on. Like I said, MOTU is winning. I'm loving the way that these figures look, and I want to acquire this line just like I want the TMNT MOTU crossovers. Those figures look good. So MOTU's just doing a good job, in my opinion. Creeping up there with one of my favorite readily available toy lines, right up there with G.I. Joe for me. So yeah, definitely gonna be moving in on that. But for me, it raises a bigger question, right? So with everything that's going on in the world today, and this is not a conversation about whether you like, love, hate it, think it's right, or anything like that, but it's just a statement of fact. We're dealing with tariffs, and as of today's date, there's a possible 104.3% tariff going in on China. So it begs the question, like, how is that going to impact us as toy buyers? I know for me as an individual, with the tariff situation, without delving into it too much, if you're telling me that a Marvel Legend action figure that normally costs 25, 30 bucks is now going to be $45, $50, just the normal Legends action figure, my consumerism from a toy standpoint will significantly decrease. I just don't see the value in that. So I hope that that's something that we get under control real quick. The problem that I have as an individual when it comes to stuff like this and price hikes in the world at large, this is just a systemic thing, it seems that the price goes up. It stays up if the consumer pays it, and it never falls down even if the tariffs are removed, whatever, right? So it's like, man, this sucks. Now, don't get it twisted. I definitely understand that there are bigger things at play. And listen, we're talking about buying toys. These aren't necessities in life. These are things that we enjoy. It's a hobby. It's fun. And so I don't want to miss the bigger picture and discount the fact that there are individuals who are actually struggling and hurting in the world. But we get we have the luxury of having time to discuss a hobby and having our feelings hurt because an action figure might cost a little bit more. And I think that that's a wonderful place to be in. So I just want to put that out there. Like, I'm just talking about what I'm talking about because it's a statement of fact, right? If the tariffs go into place, we import things from Taiwan, China, all of that stuff, we could potentially see a price hike, and some of the things that we buy, they're just gonna cost more. And that's just, the way of the world. And again, this is not a political show or whatnot. I deal with that, I think, in my real life on a regular basis. I'm not really trying to discuss the rights or wrongs. I'm just trying to talk about the real world impact of it and how it's gonna affect us as collectors, right? So if we see that increase, we see that markup, I know for me, it'll significantly reduce what I'm actually going to buy that's new if these things are impacted by tariffs, right? Like I said, I'm in on the ThunderCats line, and I'm in on that mask line, and I'm most likely in on Turtles. I might not complete lines that I would have completed. I might just get a couple of figures and then hope that, this stuff kind of wanes and I can purchase them later. Another thing for me, when we're talking about a tariff standpoint, I'm big on the sale stuff. I love to find a sale. I love to find discounted stuff, great prices and stuff like that. And I'll just be real with you. I will be very deliberate and intentional about looking for more sales. And I'll probably be posting about some of the stuff that I got that was on sale that I think was a great buy or whatnot. I am not an individual as a collector that I need to have it first, right? There are some things, yes, I want to go ahead and get it. But for me personally, there's so much stuff that comes out that even things that came out 2 or 3 years ago, if I get my hands on it today, I would be just as happy as I would if I got it like the moment that it dropped. So I have the ability to wait. I can be patient. I don't need it because it's new. If you're anything like me, you've got mountains and mountains of unopened box stuff, and you can just really take your time and go through it, play with it, pose it, and do all the things. So that's going to be one of my focal points for the year, enjoying what I've already got, acquiring things as I can as I see stuff, but I don't just necessarily have to buy everything as it comes out. I can wait. I can be patient. Maybe I'll get it 2 or 3 years down the line at a toy show. Maybe I'll buy it, 6 months down the line, and maybe I will buy it new. It's just not my focus. So, let's take a breath or whatever. There's a bigger thing at play than any of us know as it relates to what's going on from a governmental standpoint, and prayerfully, it'll all be over soon, and we can just get our toys at our regular prices. But that takes me to my final thing, which is just toys in general. When we're talking about what we want to acquire, I know throughout the year, yes, I'm going to buy some things from a Walmart or a Target or even an Amazon. I will be looking for deals, but I'll definitely be showing up at shows trying to get things at a cheaper rate or a cheaper price. I've always loved retro stuff. I've always loved older stuff. And so that might be my focal point for the year. Going and getting me some retro stuff, going to more of my flea markets and things of that nature, because I've got a price point for what I'm going to pay for toys, what I'm going to spend on toys. As an individual, I think you have to be fiscally responsible and give yourself a budget, right? You can't just go out and spend $3,000 a month on toys. Well, at least I can't. Maybe you can. And if you can, let your boy owe something, you feel me? But with that said, I'll be fiscally responsible and look at new ways of approaching and acquiring some of the things that I want to get. Not just going to go out and buy it all, just take my time and get some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I wanted to put out there. So, man, I appreciate you joining me today for this episode where we go ThunderCats, Tariffs, Toys. Now, let me know what you're going to be buying this year, man. What are you looking for? Do you think the tariffs are even going to impact our prices? How much do you think they're going to impact? Is it going to stop you from collecting? Tell me in the comments. I love to engage with some of you guys just to hear what's going on in your world and your thought process associated with this. I do know there's a toy line that I've been buying a lot of recently. I'll talk about that soon just because some of the prices are good. And I'm like, I think I'm really going to like these. And I keep buying them. And I haven't even opened them. So we'll be talking about that real soon, man. But look, before I get out of here, remember, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit us up on @BuyThatToy over on IG. Stick with us over here on YouTube @BuyThatToy. Drop me a line, shoot me a message, hit me in the comments, like the video, share it with your friends, run tell your mama, daddy, cousins, boyfriends, sisters, brothers, everybody. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and kicking it with your boy. Till next time, peace.